All supervisors here, John Seiler absent. If you could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public comment. I don't know, should
I think public comment we still would take.
Yeah, I get that, but I didn't know if I should have the EQT representative up if the comments are for them. Marilyn Kerr.
Mr. Corns, where are you at? You're waiting back? You want to take a seat up here?
You can go up to the podium there, and then he can sit up here, and we'll shut that door so you can see better. Thank you for coming tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Your name and address, ma'am?
My name is Marilyn Kerr, and I live at 108 Patterson Road, which is in Union Township. I'm here tonight because I want to explain how the former Board of Supervisors' decision to issue a permit for fracking behind our house, the Mingo well pad, has destroyed our quality of life and has significantly reduced our property value. And since you are our elected representatives, I'm here asking for your help. I've reached out to EQT and I've heard nothing in response. I'll start by telling you that we purchased our home in 2015. The property around us was zoned agricultural residential. Since there was no public sewerage in place, we thought, we wouldn't even have to worry about development behind us. Then we heard that EQT had requested a permit for a well directly behind our house. We came to the township meeting, we objected to the issuance of the permit on the basis of significant health concerns of being so close to this activity, on the basis of the way a well would devalue our property, and on the basis of the noise and the dirt and the traffic that we would be subjected to. All who spoke in favor of the well, as we understand, stood to gain substantial personal wealth if the well went in. We have received no compensation from EQT. We own a little less than, we own about half an acre of land, and we were offered about $1,000 to purchase our rights. Since the activities begun on that well pad, our backyard has turned into an industrial development all day and all night, every single day of the week. There is heavy truck traffic going back and forth in front of our house. There is noise of drilling, digging, heavy machinery. The trucks, which are 18-wheelers, which are those trucks hauling water, go a lot faster than what the posted speed limit, which is 25. Our road was torn up all summer because they were installing larger water lines to feed the well. We couldn't open, and we still cannot open our windows because the noise is so intense and because there's so much dirt and dust. In the past, we used to have picnics at our house. We had a big yard, we have a little pool, we have multiple grandchildren. They're afraid to be in our backyard now. They're afraid of the trucks, they're afraid of the noise, they're afraid of the fire they've seen coming from the well, and they don't even know the danger that we're being subjected to because of the chemicals that are being injected into the ground and then that are going to be coming out of the ground. let alone a pipeline explosion, etc. Now, is this just the anxiety of a homeowner who's not happy with the development around the house? It is not. In 2020, a Pennsylvania grand jury issued a report and drew the conclusion that Pennsylvania state oversight of fracking was at best poor. They said that the state failed to protect residents' health and safety. They also stated that fracking companies had committed criminal violations in the past that went undiscovered until significant environmental damage had occurred, that caused pipeline explosions and other criminal acts. They also came to the conclusion that the closer you live to a well, the more likely you are going to be breathing harmful emissions, and that's after the well is in place. The pipelines, or the gathering lines, that are put in place in conjunction with the wells are subject to very little regulation because the state legislature has not kept up with the technological advances in fracking. There's a lot more information coming out now. There are maps that map methane and benzene emissions that come from these wells that are way above the recommended standard for public health. And those are posted on the internet in real time, and these are pollutants that affect a person's respiratory, reproductive, and nervous systems. And there's a million other things in reports that can be cited. I talk to lawyers about representing us to go against EQT, to fight them because of our loss of property, because of the loss of our quality of life. And I was told that I would need at least $100,000 to go against them, because they would paper any law firms with motion after motion and drag them to court. They nearly bankrupted one firm that was, in the end, did prevail. I am asking EQT to compensate us for our losses. They have not replied to any inquiry. Since they have not, I'm asking you, the supervisors, to contact them and to contact the DEP and pressure the DEP to monitor those pipelines, to monitor the chemicals that are going into the ground and the chemicals that are coming out of the ground. And I'm asking you again to be our advocates in this, because our voice means nothing to EQT. I have a case number, and I'd like to give that to you. When I reached out to EQT, they gave me a case number, never responded, but I would like to give this to you so that if you were to contact them on our behalf, that you could reference that.
Do you just have one copy?
Yes.
Could you give it to Mary Ann? She'll make copies and give it to all of us.
Thank you very much.
108 Patterson. 108 Patterson. Ms. Kerr, is it?
Yes.
Now, before the meeting began, I talked to you and your husband before the meeting about some of the issues. You said you had problems with mud and all that on the road?
Yeah.
Could you?
I wrote them down.
I have it written down too. But what type of mud do you, is this happening all the time?
No. I would say the mud on the road is the least of our concerns.
Okay.
Our biggest concern is the fine dust that coats everything outside, my porch furniture. We have a little above ground pool that my husband had to vacuum every single day. Now, you're breathing that in as well.
You also said something before when you first came in, you had concerns about traffic.
Yes.
What are the concerns about traffic?
She said speeding trucks.
Speeding trucks, and these are 18-wheelers. These are water tanker trucks. Thank you. And when I say it's 24/7, 7 days a week, I'm talking, they're going by every 5 minutes. One's coming or going.
Also, you made comments about the noise.
Yes.
Okay. And again, I always tell people, paint a picture for us. What do you mean by noise? Is it
I have some recordings of the noise, but it would take me some.
That's okay. So is the noise, how long has this noise been going on?
I think that well's just starting. That's the third well.
When did you first start having problems?
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
And there was the development of the well site itself, which was heavy machinery. But this has been, so imagine a giant digger digging and the sound it makes. The beeping that you hear when a construction vehicle is backing up, if you can think of that never stops. The engine noises of these machines. And I was told by the DEP that the EQT was having difficulty getting through some rock under Patterson Road. So if you can imagine a giant metal mallet banging on a rock and amplify it 100 times, that's what it sounded like. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for months. The entire summer we listened to this.
All right, so this well pad's behind your house.
Directly behind our house.
Are there any
900 feet, I think.
Are there any sound walls up or anything?
There is a patchwork of, it looks like plywood. Yeah, an opening, which is where the vehicles drive up. That we can see that. So
It faces our house, so we're not getting any of the
Valuableness
Yeah.
of a sound wall.
Right.
There.
yeah, if it does have much effect at all.
All right, anything else, folks?
Excuse me?
Anything else?
No.
And this is your husband, your name, sir?
Yes.
Patrick
Kerr?
Kerr.
All right, thank you. Who else?
Thank you.
All right, who else do we have from EQT?
There's the Rich Dar, D-A-R-R.
Sir, your name and address?
Rich Starr, 15 Victoria Drive. So I live right over the hill. I feel for this lady because the noise level at my house is unacceptable, so I could only imagine what it's like for you. But I live roughly, I think, above the sound barrier, so the sound likely travels a little bit to get to my home. So just things, again, that are of less import than the noise, because the noise is utterly ridiculous. There was mud last week coming out of this oil and gas place. In fact, it's all over my car right now. And I left it on there on purpose in case anyone wanted to take a look at the mud on my car from the rig over there.
And you're saying the one on Finleyville
It's the
Ring
one
Road,
up
the
here.
Sarah?
Yeah. So I also witnessed, I was sitting down here at the 43 entrance, 2 18-wheelers couldn't make the turn to get up to this one up here. They were bringing equipment from the other fracking town. And they did basically a 3-point turn onto 43, backed up onto the exit of 43, and then came back the other way. I don't think that's legal, but according to the variance stuff that I looked at, they were going to follow the rules for traffic law. And then, of course, you know, I'm sure after the condition of the road, the crappy patch job that they did up there, it's all unacceptable. But the worst part is the noise. So the noise that I'm hearing, in particular over the I'd say sometime within the last month, it got way worse. And that's when I noticed it, is I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I'm hearing this noise at night in my bedroom, and then I'm not able to get back to sleep. Maybe it's because it's bothering me, maybe it's because I'm pissed off over the noise, but it's just unacceptable. I bought this home up here, it's my dream home.
How long you lived there?
I moved in here 2 months before whatever happened down here with the variance.
So around 2019?
August of 2020,
You're referring to the conditional use
the
hearings?
conditional use hearing, which I knew nothing about because the notice was given in the Washington Observer, which is distributed out to 1 out of every 10 people in Washington County. And then personal notice, based on what I read in that, was to only people within 300 feet. Well, I'm 2,000 feet or so, roughly, from there. So I was let out, but the noise is coming up. So, to me, it's unacceptable. I don't expect any of my concerns to actually be addressed, but I wanted to note that there are concerns, it's a problem. I think it's gonna continue to be a problem. And it's just, something that the prior board really should have addressed, and it's now my problem moving forward with EQT.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We had another lady had a question, concern.
I just had a question. I just wanted to know,
Your name?
Lisa McCabe. I live on Finleyville, Raymer Road. I just wanted to know how long this truck traffic is gonna go on. Nothing compared to this poor woman, the 24/7 trucks all through the night. And when I called last month and asked about it, they said that they were supposed to be wrapping up by the 26th, and they'd be at another well until the end of December. But
Yeah,
they're still
That's
rolling.
the list that they had given us that we post on the wall there of when they.
So,
they-
my question is, how long are these trucks gonna be going like this?
So,
Can you get back to us in the next couple of days?
yeah.
Yes, I'll do so. Just real quick, I'll just introduce myself. My name's Michael Corns. I'm an attorney with Babs Callen, representing EQT. Just, for anybody who commented, but also anybody else, if you didn't comment, if you had any questions or concerns of your own. Two things. One, up there on the board, there is contact information for Casey Dirkness. He is the representative for EQT. It has his phone number and email on there. Any questions about EQT in Union Township, regardless of which site they're on, or whether they're interconnect, or whether it's Equitrans or EQT, can be directed there. He'll get you to direct contact information. But as well tonight, I'm happy to be out here and take the names, the phone numbers, addresses, and concerns of anybody, myself specifically, to get back down. I do have already this from Marilyn and Patrick, but if anybody else has specific questions or concerns that they want to give to me now, or we can talk out here, that I can make sure that those specific questions or concerns are brought to EQT. Happy to do so. Also happy to give you my personal card, so if by some chance, if you've reached out to EQT and you're not getting a response and you want to reach out to me, you can do so. I've written down everything everybody specifically asked and the location, so we'll follow up on these specific questions.
Good.
But again, if there's anything else, if anybody didn't want to come up and talk, who wants to talk afterwards, those on our way from just out there in the
Yeah,
lobby
you're
won't bother
fine.
anybody.
Sure, if you can.
No, you won't bother us.
All right,
But
so
I did have a couple questions for you.
I'll do my best. So Casey could not be here tonight, and I'm not operations. I'm an attorney, so
Yeah.
there's only so much I actually know about the specific operational questions.
So after a lot of calls and questions of the township and the gentleman here last meeting about the Jake breaks, I
Okay.
went and read in the conditional uses, and there's supposed to be, if I read it correctly, and I'm not, but there's supposed to be no Jake break signs everywhere.
Okay.
So that seems to be a huge concern of the people that call the township, that trucking, it's not just the amount of trucks, it's the excessive Jake breaking in front of their houses. And in the conditional use, it said there was gonna be no Jake breakings.
And are these specifically around Mingo? Is that the one that?
It's a triad, so one's right here, you can see it from the window, one's at the top of the hill, the other one's down on Patterson, so it's kind of a triangle of 3 wells.
Right.
So it's the same kinda,
So you're having that question on both Mingo and Catton.
yeah, I believe so. They just come to the township, or they call the township about the jake breaking.
Okay.
As far as the mud and stuff on the roads, if I saw correctly in the conditional use,
It's part of it.
that truck washing,
Well, it's just about keeping the roads room clean or something of that nature.
but there was something about possible truck washing stations
Well,
coming out on the. We had a gentleman that had called, he wasn't from Union Township, he was from
it
Bethel
does,
Park.
that's
But he
paragraph,
said that he wrecked his motorcycle.
What paragraph is that, Dennis?
it's paragraph 7 on page 7, talking about if necessary, corrective measures, including but not limited to the installation of the tire washing facilities at the well site.
Okay.
She's correct. Also, there's issues that Mr. Dar, I think it's Dar, right? He raised issue about truck traffic too.
Rich Dar. Yeah.
He mentioned that. And also, Michelle was talking to me today about staging.
Okay.
I mean, that has to be something, and that's paragraph 10 on page 7 about staging. So that basically minimizes the impact.
Are there areas where the trucks are backing up? Is that the issue with the staging?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
On that Holt
Holt Road.
Road, backing up there.
Okay, so that's right.
And that's a very thin road, so some residents on Holt had some issues with the staging on that road and the backing up on the road. But yeah, we had somebody that had claimed to wreck their motorcycle riding on the mud on Finleyville-Rama Road. Some of the residents that were along Finleyville-Rama Road, once the street sweeping started, were complaining about it sweeping into their property.
If you could also check, I have a question about sound walls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I think it's gonna get worse now since you no longer have leaves on the trees. It'll start really getting worse for these folks, so if you could look at about sound wall.
It's my understanding there is a sound wall about Mingo, but we may have a question about the location of the opening. So.
And is it, maybe if it's possible, if Casey can make it to the next meeting and have some
Yeah,
sort of.
I believe he will be able to. This just came up a little too fast and we need another engagement, but I'll ask that he can. When is your next meeting?
December
Oh, you have another one in December. You have one in December.
19th. But also, as I put in my email to him,
Okay.
I live near where the Traxwell was, and it was pretty impactful at the time it was going on. But ultimately, eventually, I didn't even know they were there.
Right.
So I think a lot of it has to do with how long. I think I heard a few residents saying how long. And
Right.
if it's a month, if it's 6 months, if they just want a more concrete time frame of how long. So
Right. And
I think I've had some residents that think this is the rest of their life.
yeah, I mean the heavy water truck traffic is during the fracking process, which should be. I don't want to speak specifically, but if they said it was going to be done November 26th, I imagine it should be done quite soon.
So if you can check into this and maybe give me a call. I don't know if are you working Wednesday or not?
I am.
I'll be at the office about 5. So.
Yeah, me too. I'll give you a call.
Then I have a meeting that night anyway. So
Do you
give me a
have
call.
another question?
Yes, I mean, we're on Patterson Road.
Yep.
And they have one well there. Supposedly there's gonna be an additional 4 coming.
Okay. Yep.
What's the timeline on that?
I wouldn't know the specific timeline, but yeah, usually with that many wells, it would be over the course of a few years where they come back. So.
And the truck traffic will come back with each one of them.
As long as the water is being trucked for the fracking, yeah, you would see a similar level of truck traffic during the window when they're actually fracking.
Will the water lines that they put in alleviate some of that truck traffic?
I mean yes. Again, I'm talking generically, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
get
I mean
it.
one of the main goals of EQT wherever we can is to replace truck water with pipe water. Sometimes it's only a pipe. Sometimes you can't get all of it through pipe, so sometimes it's a mix. But even if you can get it to the point where it's half and half, that's going to be dramatically reducing the number of trucks. I mean, but our preference would be to have pipe water everywhere.
And yeah, if we're able to have, for future fracking, if we're able to have piped water available, that would definitely reduce the number of trucks necessary for that part.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have some answers for you.
Yeah, like I said, I'll
Sounds like a lifetime to me.
I will follow up with EQT on these questions, and again, like I said, I'll be out there to take anybody else's information.
So if there's anyone that wishes to talk further with the gentleman from EQT, he said he'd be more than happy to talk with you out in the lobby there.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Can't go further.
Get ready to continue. Those are done, yes. Okay. Miss Bertie Spear.
Hey guys, listen up.
Okay, I'm requesting the board.
Can you close that door, please? It's the noise. Go ahead.
I'm here requesting the board consider renewing the lease for the tax office in the municipal building. I've sent an email to all with that same request. I've had numerous taxpayers express their concern about a rumor they heard which would remove the tax office from the township building, and I assured them I would request remaining in the township building, which has housed the tax office since the early 90s, with the first tax collector being Mr. Fred Grogley. And I would appreciate any consideration of any meeting that you want to set up. I'd be happy to attend and go over the prospect of me continuing to be in the building.
Miss Karen Stroop.
Karen Street, 39 Avenue. On September 25th of this year, I filed a right to know. And it was for the names of all employees of Union Township Road Crew from January 1, 2024 to the present, and the hire dates and dates of quit, fire, or dismissal. And also copies of any and all certificates of training, including but not limited to CDL, flagger training, first aid, CPR. On September 30th, I received a right to know extension notice from Attorney Maker's office, advising an additional 30 days was requested to respond due to bona fide staffing limitations. On October 27th, I got a phone call from Lisa from the township and also Lisa from Attorney Maker's office saying my right to know was ready and I could pick it up here at the township office. I came down on the 28th and picked up my right to know. When I got home, I reviewed the information and it included information on Mary Ann Kim's and Michelle Dupree, which I didn't request. And what was not included were the employees of the road crew from January 1, 24 to the present and the information I had requested. I immediately called Lisa, Attorney Maker's office, and she put me on with you, Mr. Mako. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember.
And you said, and I advised you of the omission, what I did not receive, and you said you would get back to me the next day. And I haven't heard, as of now, I haven't heard anything back from anybody.
If I'm correct, I think we did give you some certificates regarding the road crew.
Training, yes.
But that's all we have, I believe.
Well, doesn't the township have the rest of what I requested?
In terms of the certificates?
No, the employees, the names of all employees of the township road crew from January 1/24 to the present.
But we don't have a specific list of employees.
The township does not have a list of employees of the road crew.
It's my understanding we don't.
Well, then that is gross negligence.
But we have the employees, but there's
No,
not the
that's,
list.
then the filing system, perhaps rather than a part-timer, this shows why we need a full-time employee at this township. Because if you do not have a list, dates of hire and dates of quit, fire, dismissal,
What's that?
then I've never heard of any office, and I worked 43 years as the office manager of a unit, the Laborers District Council. And if we did not be able to go to pull up a list of like that.
I don't think they have a list per se that they've made. Now, they have employees, and we have stuff like that.
Well, that's what I asked for.
But there's no specific list that says we have
Well,
A,
then
B,
you
and
go
C.
to the road crew, you should have a road crew filing system and go to that.
I can tell you a lot of townships and boroughs don't
I
have any
don't
filing
care,
system.
whatever.
I'm just telling you my experience.
Then it's negligence, and your record keeping needs to be revised. So, that's all. So I'm assuming I'm not going to get anything further than that, right?
I'll check to see again about certificates. But
I
we're
have
right.
all those. No, I got those.
Okay, all you want to talk about is the list then.
And why?
So when you
that-
said,
The
Go ahead.
reason that Mary Ann Kim's and my information was in there were classes that we all took, so it would be a list of.
okay, it was in the file.
It was in the
have
file with the
I
other
just want
stuff.
the list of the
There were like safety
employees.
classes
And
that
why?
we all took.
quit, fired, or dismissed.
I wouldn't tell you whether they're fired or dismissed. I'd never tell you that. That would be
Well, you
personality.
could give me the list of the
Well, I
names
don't, but
then.
you're asking me to give you, 1 second, you're asking me to give you a list of people who've been fired or dismissed?
No, I want
That's
the
what you just
list.
said. That's what you just said.
No, I wanted their hire dates. I wanted the list
All
of
right.
the employees of the road
But
crew.
I can't, but first of all, when it-
24
But
to the present.
when it comes to people being fired or
That's
dismissed,
fine,
I'd never tell you that. That's
but
personnel.
but you should have a list of everyone that worked for the
All
road
right.
crew for that.
Okay, all right. What's next?
Mr. Powell, George.
Hey, just real quick,
Sure.
how far you get with the ag security area?
I'm sorry, what?
The ag security area, you guys getting
So,
into
I
it?
believe, so, is that your sister in
Yeah,
Ohio?
she
I
was
talked to
talking
her a couple times, so I called her a couple times, because I've
Okay.
never did that before.
Yeah.
And I did direct her to Mr. Mako's office, because of the advice that he said, what he had said, and he can clarify, but he said, once she makes the request, there's a certain amount of time for the board to act, or she gets it automatically.
George,
And he suggested the best thing for her was to lay it on the table, which we did at that one meeting you were at. And when we lay it on the table, if that lays on the table for a certain amount of days, she automatically gets her request.
Does that go for all the township that was in it at one time?
Well, anybody that made those won't change. She's making a request
Yeah,
for a
those will stay the
change.
same.
Those will stay the same and
Dennis
her
might have been
request.
involved. Was you here whenever they did all
I
this?
don't recall, but the thing about it
Maybe not.
is,
She
you know,
told me all about Mr. Partizano was on the board
Yeah,
with
there was
her
a-
and,
She
yeah.
knows, yeah.
but the thing about it is, George, when I first started a long time ago, farmers in the communities would say, they'd be sitting there, young attorney, they'd say, just lay it on the table. That was the term they used.
Yeah, but I don't think you were here then.
I probably not, but I'm saying is, we'll lay on the table for 6 months the application, all right? Once that 6 months passes, then it becomes deemed approved.
Yeah.
Then what we have to do, once that deemed approved occurs, and I don't know when the application was filed.
We marked the date,
She
and we
marked, yeah.
sent it to your
She can
office,
mark
and
it.
I called her, and I said that I didn't understand it all, and I told her to call me
Yeah.
And I
directly.
did speak to her.
Yeah, I know you weren't on there because I was young when that happened and you're a little older than me, so.
So
And the next thing I had, just a statement, the fire on Powell Lane today, I will say one thing, El Ramo was the first one on scene, they was the one that took lead on it. It was very good, very fast getting there.
all right.
But
Thank
as far as
you.
that security, yeah.
Tell Mr. Salem
So,
back
but
there.
just let me
Yeah, he
finish,
just came in.
George, let me finish up real quick, but once it becomes deemed approved, then I have to file paperwork with the
Yeah.
courthouse, okay?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people concerned about this, because they don't want.
Yeah, all the other ones will stay the same. The request for a change, if laid on the table, will be deemed approved after a certain amount of time.
Okay.
I just didn't know if it was 6 months or not, but
Okay, yeah, I
Okay.
just want to double check on it, make sure. Thanks.
you're welcome. Okay, no announcements. Approval of meeting minutes, October 22nd, 2025. Any motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
Carl made the motion. Any second? I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did you, I guess you spoke, I'm sorry. Did you- Vacancies, we still have vacancies on the Board of Auditors, but there was just an election, so maybe someone got that. Township reports, police reports, is he here? Okay, we do have an officer.
Sorry guys, I got trapped up there.
Hello, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm Sergeant McCarthy of the Monterey Police. I'm here to give the summer report for October. Approximately 2,450 miles were patrolled, 271.6 gallons of fuel were used, 124 calls for service, 57 traffic contacts, 9 vehicle accidents, 4 alarm calls, 2 public service assist calls, 8 requests to assist EMS and the fire department, 6 check welfare requests, 8 reports of suspicious activity, 6 theft reports, 8 domestic/disturbances, 0 drug overdose calls, 2 drug-related arrests, 1 warrant service. Within the township, 10 individuals were arrested for the following charges: 5 for DUI, 1 obstruction of justice, 1 controlled substance, 1 drug paraphernalia charge, 1 resisting arrest, 1 carrying a firearm without a license, 1 altered documents of registration, 2 for disorder of conduct, and 2 for public drunkenness. Does anybody have any questions pertaining to that?
No, I don't have any questions pertaining to this, but, we're getting a lot of complaints on heavy traffic speeding on car dogs. I know it's happening everywhere. It's
Yeah.
happening everywhere. We're
Do we have a
trying
time
to
of
go
day
everywhere.
specifically that we
I
can?
don't. My mother told me she saw it on Facebook. I'm not really on Facebook, but my mother said that there was a lot of people on Car Dogs Road particularly.
I think we got someone called 911 reporting that earlier.
They mentioned that in the
It was
post
last
apparently.
last week. We're aware, officers are aware, and I know they're actively patrolling car dogs.
If there is, so the claim apparently from what my mom said, addressing the zoning and code and stuff, is that this is the DCS acquisition site that's being accessed, but they're going down Cardox Road. Now, there's nobody bonding that road, because the last time we had an issue with him, he was saying that they were directed to come on the South Park side, which he supposedly bonded, and go up. But the people in Union Township are saying that's not what's happening. They're coming up and down Cardox Road to access the DCS acquisition. So I don't know, should we send them a letter?
I think we
that
should.
It's, the road's not
Do
bonded
we have
for that.
a weight restriction on that road?
We do.
Okay.
And it's, they didn't bond that road because he says that they come out and take a right to South Park.
Okay.
Our residents are saying otherwise. Our
Okay.
residents are saying they're going this way, but they should not. If you catch them there and they're coming to, if you could just inform maybe the township so we can let our code enforcement, if you pull them over and they say, hey, that's where we're going, they're not, because they never bonded the road for use.
Well,
to do that.
if they're using a road and haven't bonded it, then it's an overweight vehicle.
Yep,
So then basically they can be cited. Even, you don't need to cite them for, like that.
DOT it.
Well, yeah, but
Because they have a weight on their truck.
but he can also file a violation of township ordinance against if he doesn't have the appropriate certifications as to the weight limits, correct?
That's correct.
Like in a lot of the instances on McChain, we were getting a lot of garbage haulers going to shortcut to the dumps. So the residents gave me the names of the vehicles, and I just called up the companies and said, hey, local deliveries only, take Route
That's a route we
88.
can
And
go.
it did cut it down for a while, they seem to be picking back up. But with Cardox Road, what the residents on Cardox Road are saying, it's to go to that industrial site where the AutoZone was
Oh,
before.
okay, okay.
So that it's going there. That's the, but when we had him in here a year ago and said, hey, you didn't bond the road, he said that they're going out the South Park side.
So they're leaving South.
That's what he says, when they leave, they're directed to take a right out of that place to go, cause it's South Park right there is the
How
line.
far down Cardox does the township go?
You'll see the line
Is there
right
a
at
line?
the end of his
I
driveway,
apologize,
it's like
I
a
haven't been that way
paving
in a long
difference.
time.
About 100 feet past where the auto parts entrance was.
Okay,
So he bonded 100 feet
150.
till he gets to South Park.
okay, all right, I will have my office address that. That's,
Yeah, even if you tell us, like if you're catching trucks there and they're saying they're going to there,
yeah.
because when we've talked to him, he says, no, not my truck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does anyone else, you guys have any questions or concerns that we can address? No? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you very much. Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You guys have a good holiday.
And George, I neglected to ask, just so people be curious, everything's okay at your brother's place?
Yeah,
I mean, the people, everybody say,
It wasn't at his place, it was back road.
okay. Cause you had mentioned it
No,
at the Powell Farm, so just so everyone knows, everyone's okay.
And they're talking about that Cardox Road, I realize there's a lot of trucks on it, but give credit where credit's due. Somebody had posted online that Kenny's truck was speeding down that road. That wasn't Kenny's truck,
No, no.
that wasn't his truck. I know whose truck it was, I'm not gonna say who it was, because Kenny knows who it was too, so.
We had
That's all we
Mr.
need to know.
Slusak here a year ago, but he swore to us that his trucks are all going out to the right, but if the residents are saying that's not the case. Okay. Okay. Fire department reports are in your packets. Engineer report, TJ.
Fire department's here.
Yeah, we're gonna get to, cause we gotta call, oh, you wanna give your report?
No, you have my report, I just was
Okay.
curious on the expenditures for the allocation for the,
Well, that-
UFOA.
We'll let you speak when that comes up on that agenda item, if you wanna get, but yeah, you can speak all you want when we get to that part. So you're talking about the foreign fire money?
Yeah, the foreign fire money.
Okay. Okay. TJ.
All right. Our office submitted our report on Friday. I believe copies are in everybody's packets. Excuse me. My updates are in bold, so I'll let you all refer to those. I don't have anything to update on the first page. Snee Road Bridge, I did send an email to everybody about that. I think it's probably time that we schedule a meeting to discuss the options there. So you've seen the latest update in that email, and I think we need to have a meeting about that. Item 6 on the engineer's report is Pleasant Stream Park. Similarly, sent an email about the status of that project. We have completed the preliminary design, as we typically do. I think it'd be good to schedule a design review meeting for that project also, so we can go over the drawings, make sure the township's okay with everything before we submit the permit applications that we need. So that's the project that we have the Growing Greener grant funding for, just for everybody's reference. So a lot of design work going on right now. Those two projects in particular, we're ready to sit down and have another discussion with the board. Funding wise, we did submit 2 grant applications to the Washington County program last month. We've got 2 more that'll go into the statewide program this month. Those resolutions are on the agenda for tonight, so we can talk more about those at that time. But I also did want to report to one of the previous meetings. I was asked to reach out to Carrie Fox to get some more information about the status of the CDBG money that we have available right now through the county. I did talk to Carrie. I sent you all an email about that as well. We have about $61,000 of grant money to use, so I think we need to brainstorm what we may want to put an application together for that funding.
That money's allocated to the township.
It's already allocated to the township, and we have to give them some idea of how we want to spend that before the end of the year.
So, and it's also limited in its use, correct?
It is.
I mean, we just can't use it, I was always been told that it's limited to basically income situations.
Yeah, so if you want to do a road project or a utility project, you're asked to collect some income survey information to justify that the project
Which will
is.
cost as much as what you're getting.
Well, there's a little legwork there
Yeah.
to do the income surveys, but you have to substantiate that over 51% of the folks who would benefit from the project are considered low to moderate income. That's the emphasis of that project. Now, if you're doing park projects, projects or ADA accessibility type projects, you do not have to have income surveys to substantiate that project. Those are considered low income.
I know at the end of last year, we kicked around possible Union Township building renovations. Is that doable in that grant?
It's a good question. I did not ask Carrie that. I can call him tomorrow and ask.
Yeah, one of the things we had discussed even in the budgeting or whatever is this flooring. It's popping up along the windows and stuff about an overlay floor for this asbestos tile.
Yeah, I'll ask Carrie tomorrow.
I think it may be, but give him a call, he'll confirm it.
Yeah, he'll be able to tell us. And then the last thing that's not on the agenda, we did get a letter from Peters Creek Sanitary Authority about the 2026 road projects that we have in mind. They're interested in knowing what we plan to do so that they can get in there ahead of us and do any manhole rehab work or any improvements before we do our road project. So probably would be a good idea. We could maybe do all these things on the same day, but if we could find a day to look at these projects that we have done for and maybe talk about this road work for 2026, I think that'd be a good thing.
Is there possibility that maybe the board can do some sort of like workshop-y meeting to kind of discuss what paving projects and stuff we wanna, maybe in December, maybe in January?
I'd want one of the two over my office.
Because any paving projects we do, by the time we put it out to bid and talk about it, then we'd be working on, pricing would be better if we got to it earlier than later anyway, for bidding out paving projects. So maybe the board kick around like.
I was gonna ask to have a meeting with Kenny sometime, I was thinking early January, give him a little time to get his thoughts together.
So maybe we could have
Discuss
a
what we're
workshop.
paving, interaction with the utilities, the sewage company, et cetera, some equipment he talked about buying. Put it all on the table, and if anybody from the world wants to attend, I don't care whether it's public or private.
So kick up some dates that you would be available in January.
Sure.
Sooner the better, Jen, gives him time to map out what he's gonna do.
What? Yeah, and then we can get it on that January agenda to put out the bid, whatever paving projects we'd be considering.
Yeah. January,
Okay.
February to move ahead with that would be good.
Right.
Sooner the better, because paving contractors want to schedule work.
You got time to publish the requirements, state all the time frame it's involved with
Get
the
the bids
government.
out, get the bids open.
Does anybody have any questions for me?
I do.
Sure.
That grant for Jason Park, that's an MS4 project?
It is.
So that'll satisfy that?
Yes, takes
Okay.
care of that receiving water, yep.
What story with Mike Barna and the sewage or
It's on the
stormwater?
agenda. It's on the agenda.
I know, but I figured I'd ask him, he's sitting there.
I did go out there, like we talked about at one meeting, I met with that property owner and their consultants. I did prepare a letter which I sent to everybody. It is on the agenda to talk about that, but while we're talking about it, I think, you know, our office wasn't involved back in the day when the original easement was negotiated and executed. And then, as we know, there was an addendum to that easement, but it was always the intent to come back after the sewer project was constructed to address the stormwater portion of that individually and permanently alleviate that issue. So I think it'd be a good idea for the township right now to start looking at that and figure out what we're gonna do with the groundwater and the stormwater there so that it's permanently resolved.
Is that piping that's in consideration, or the flow of water, sewage, or storm, is it identified as far as a location?
Yes,
So we know where it's at?
for the most part, yeah. We don't have an as-built, but yeah, we have a pretty good idea where it is.
So they're putting in those two force mains, one return, one supply, going down Philadelphia, Rama.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that we can incorporate the repair of that in conjunction with the installation of those mains? If it's coming out of the Nike site, make the road crews department a lot easier, save us some money.
I think it would benefit us if we do all of it at the same time. I mean, that gets in and gets it done you know, at once. Now granted, we can't do anything there until
It's not till
all
next
those
year.
houses are hooked up to the public sewer.
Right.
So, but yeah, in terms of saving on restoration and that kind of thing, I mean, yeah.
Well,
probably
if they're
makes
gonna
sense.
dig the hole, right?
So,
I think it can be coordinated.
I
if
do
that
too.
answers your question.
If they're all going to the sewer system, there shouldn't be no water going down anymore.
The only water remaining would be groundwater or storm.
Right.
Yeah. I think we do it all one time, Kenny, right, you know, I see no issue with
was
that.
that what the condemnation in 2017 was about?
I think that was for something different. I think that was to replace that pipe going underneath Gilmore.
Okay.
Because this area is up by that property owner's driveway, and that condemnation was down the other corner, down by the intersection.
Okay.
So I think they're two different things. But again, I don't know.
Could you have one last question?
Sure.
Flooding season's right around the bend. PennDOT communicated with the township or the engineer what they're gonna do at the bottom of Hidden Hollow Road and 88? I don't know, I'm just asking.
Not directly, no.
Okay.
The last we heard was in July, and they were pursuing
Right.
their own permits through their.
One meeting, we
DEP
had
was
some
working.
sidebars, discussion,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if there's any concrete, formal, whatever. I don't know, unless you've talked to them, Kenny.
The only thing I got was a letter, the same letter you got from Rob, and, he just said that they were going in with engineering, but I haven't heard nothing.
The last I heard was that PennDOT was coordinating with DEP to get the permit they needed to replace that pipe. I haven't heard
Speaking
anything
of Hidden
since
Hollow,
July.
Ken, how long till we have a sign on Hidden Hollow that says Hidden Hollow? How long till we get a sign there? I had somebody at the zoning hearing board.
It might have just came in
I
Friday.
told her that I knew that you ordered it last month.
Ron did get some signs in, but I don't know what they are.
Our one zoning hearing board member is from the Scarmazy plan, and she asked, and I said I'd find out. But
I'll check it
I knew
tomorrow.
for a fact that you ordered it. I just didn't know what the time frame for getting it.
If it's here, I'll get it up tomorrow, but I don't know what all he got.
Okay,
Thanks, Mr. Paul.
Thanks.
Thank you.
TJ.
You're welcome.
zoning and code report, anything?
Just real quick, under grading permits, we had a complaint filed on someone grading without a permit. They did submit, and they're working with TJ in our office to get the proper permit. Under code enforcement, we have two property owners, one on Pumpkin Center, and the other one on Finleyville, Orama. I'm requesting the township to use the self-help under the ordinance to actually clean up the property and place a lien on those properties. We keep getting, first one on Pumpkin Center, we had a hearing today, she didn't even show up. The other one on Finleyville, Orama Road, he was found guilty in August, and he's done nothing, and the neighbor called again and said it's just getting worse. And I did send pictures to all of you on that one.
Well, you get some information on how we go around the self-help,
Sure.
what we do for that?
I have a question. How much money have we spent with chasing that individual on McChain Road?
Which one's the?
Your appearance, your trips to Malagrane, your trip recently to the court, Dennis's peak cost, can anybody have an idea how much we spent? Chasing somebody that doesn't have $100 in their pocket.
Well, I don't know the answer to that question. I know we were today. We were at the courtroom, last month, I believe, Tammy?
Yes, last month.
And that's the situation where the gentleman, a friend of the defendant, got sort of nasty with me, I guess, before and then during the hearing. But we had proceeding today, and they said basically the property's been cleaned up. I don't know.
I went by there last night.
I'm sorry they told us.
Me and Suzanne were here last night, and I went home that way. It was definitely not, in my opinion, clean. I wouldn't want to live next to it.
I'm just telling you what she said to us today. So, I guess we have until, we're here on December 19th before the judge again.
Before Judge McDonald, yes.
McDonald, and we also have, so we'll find
The
out.
woman on Pumpkin Center, I mean, it's been 2 years and back,
Right.
cleans
Mrs.
up a little
White?
bit, it goes, I mean, there's tons of money invested
We
into
talking
that
about Mrs.
property.
White?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, she's still living. My God, she's gonna get old.
The sister passed away, but
Yeah, the sister, not,
she passed away, but I don't wanna use her name, but there, Mr. Mayor
But,
put it out there.
but the fact of the matter is, like with that case right there, I mean, I've been involved since 2023 at that one. And, you know, I spoke to her once on the phone.
Even her son in Ohio.
Spoke to her son. The son, I don't remember what he said, but he wasn't too interested. But what do you do when you have the residents complaining about something like that? So,
Well, let me ask you a question. We've probably spent thousands of dollars, and I'll use McChain piece as an example. Would it be better just to clean the thing up, lien the project, lien the property, and go through whatever process it is? When the property's sold, do we recoup those
Are you
dollars?
saying before
Well, let
taking
me-
it to court or now?
well,
'Cause
let me tell you what
I'm open, Michelle, I just think we
well, I don't
waste
think
a
we
lot of
can
money.
do it until we go through the court
Well, then go
process.
through,
Well, let me just
whatever we
That's what I'm
need to
saying,
do.
like, I don't think that would alleviate that, I'm in agreement it needs to be cleaned up, but I think that
let me
the
just
due process part of it has to be done or we all get sued.
let me explain to you how it normally goes. You got to go through. You have to get a conviction, and then once you get the conviction, then it gives you the next statement. I think right now, if we get the conviction against 67 McChain Road, then I would do the self-help. But you got to get the conviction first, Larry. I mean, otherwise I can't do
Wasn't
it.
she convicted like the 2 meetings ago with Mellow Grain's office? I
She
was
was-
in
And she
a
appealed,
couple of
right?
meetings.
Then once they file an appeal, it's a trial de novo, which means we're back to square one. So when you do this stuff, these people will do everything possible to drag it out.
And she waited 28 days, she had 30 days to appeal, day 28, she filed the appeal.
The first man I went to Mellow Grain's office, she didn't even show up.
Yep,
But they have a
Okay.
right to file an appeal. That's due process.
we don't have any control on
I
that.
don't know if it's a due process, but it's a process.
It is a process.
All right. So we're stuck
I
with it.
agree with that.
Okay, Ken, your public works report.
Yep, okay, everybody knows we're getting ready for, winter. I had 200 ton of salt delivered, and I'm gonna order 200 more ton on Wednesday. We took all the banners down for the winter, and we're gonna go through them and try and get some sort of a list so we know what we have.
Is there, when you get a list, you know what you have, so get me a list of what you have, and if there's any that need to be replaced. My dream would be to let people know in plenty enough time to order them for spring. Cause they take a couple months, when I got my dad's, it took 3 months to get in, and so if we can get the names of which missing one. The tornado took a bunch of them last year, and I think people were a little disappointed they didn't know they were gone, and then, so I'd like to get a list on our website of what needs replaced.
We'll
Michelle,
get,
does the Legion have a list of those?
So you can go online, it's called Hometown Heroes, and they actually, you can see your banner's picture, and they have a list, everyone in the township. So if he gives me a list of what he has, I can compare it to what we're supposed to have, and then just put missing, do that.
what I'm gonna
list
do is
missing.
get you a list of the ones we can read.
Yeah.
The ones we can't,
And then I'm gonna
we
go either
can't.
missing or needs replaced.
Right. We did get the rusted drain pipe on Norman replaced, and we actually formed and poured a inlet on Hill. We were able, last week we were able to get all the concrete work done at El Rama Park, so that's all done. The only thing we got to do now is the landscaping. The force main for the El Rama sewage system. Michelle, those drawings that you got me were a big help. Although it's only 3 of 15 pages, but without those, I'd have never been able to find
And
this.
I think I found on this server the rest of them, if I did, I sent him a link to TJ.
I'm gonna show TJ what you found, and hopefully,
I did
I
another
called
deep dive
Kim
in
Gales,
the
but she
CCAN.
doesn't call back.
Yeah, Ken's gonna keep me from getting dinner after the meeting, we're gonna go look at those drawings.
So, I mean, I did in the CCAN find,
I'm just,
I think 4 of the 15.
But anyways, it was completely overgrown. We did find 2 manholes that are down here. And that, if you look in your packet, you'll see this picture. That, look, I think what that is a backflow preventer where you can put air on it if you have to repair it.
That thing underwater there?
It's underwater. We're gonna pump it out. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But there is another one up on 837 that is dry. I need the drawings to tell me what the heck these are. And I found 2 of them. I don't know if there's any more because I don't have all the drawings. We did locate where the forest main is going. There was trees growing over top of this right of way that we are working on clearing in case we do have an issue. It's never been dealt with. I mean, since it's been installed. Some of those trees are 10, 12 inches round. So, I'm gonna show TJ those drawings that I got. Maybe between him, Kim Gales, I can get the rest, and I gotta save them.
At least one of the drawings had a handwritten thing saying there was a tracer wire or
Right.
something to trace.
We are doing, but anyways, I know we're 90, or not 90, 70% of this line is, which is a good thing. Because before that, where we were looking wasn't where it was. On another note, we're cleaning up these leaves on the streets. The other picture in your packet is a picture of Gun Club Road, where you can see where we sucked up the leaves on one side of the road, and I told him, I got a picture of the other side. There was 3 foot of leaves. That's clogging our drains. That's about it.
I think they're giving that to hell out there.
Any questions?
Do you have a street sweeper?
No.
Huh?
Maybe we borrow EQT.
Do you have a street sweeper or not?
No.
Do you ever think about renting a street sweeper?
He thought about that.
Yeah, if I could ever get it.
Like
That's
a
what I'm
leaf back truck, not a sweeper, but a leaf back.
It's a vacuum.
Do we have one or not?
He's renting.
He did request. It was on his wish list. Thanks for bringing it up.
Hey Kenny, how's Zach doing on his CDL?
He
Oh,
got
he
it.
got it.
He got it.
He got it.
I noticed in your write-up, you started doing some work up in Tuscany.
Yeah, we did. do
Hammered it.
some of that.
Is that from TJ's list, part of that tripartite thing?
No, there was a end of the road and there was a dirt area.
Right.
When I was,
But there was in a
There's 2 of those
guardrail
up there.
that he put some reflectors on because it just ended and then there was a cliff. So he
Okay.
put some
I know which
reflectors
one
there
you
and
mean.
some gravel at the end of the dirt area because when the road crew goes to salt, their only option was to back up that entire road, risking hitting a car or a child. So that way, when they salted, and I think she just came up today, I will tell you, Lisa Mannion stopped at my business to see if she was allowed to buy you guys pizza and stuff. She was so happy. And I know she was very happy. She lives in Montana. But yeah, when we were up there, it was the garbage trucks had to back up that road just because it was a mud pit. So I think he threw some gravel or something or cold.
It didn't cost us nothing, but what we used was all reclaimed.
There's another one of their dead-end streets, I think it's the one down the hill that has an abrupt stop. There's more space than the one with the guardrail. Are you gonna do that one?
I'll look at it. I might throw some reclaim on
I'll
it.
send you a picture, I took some a
All
couple
right.
months ago. Final thing, when can we start on this rehab with Tuscany? The list that TJ put together.
just trying,
9 months after they close on the property.
just trying to,
He's talking about the road work and sinkholes that aren't done that have been on the punch list since, what, August of 23,
Yeah, it's been a while.
or 24 maybe. It's been over a year.
You got a couple catch basins up there where there's holes right next to them.
well, you've got, I went up there one day, I think Michelle was up there with me, this is, I don't know, many months
For
ago.
a meeting like 4
Or a
months
meeting
ago.
or something, and you have the berms, the wedge curves. If you look at the wedge curve, I have pictures on my phone where there's a wedge curve and there's a hole in the wedge curve which looks like it's hollow underneath of there.
It is.
I've never seen it like that in all my career.
It's a sinkhole issue.
But it's in the curve. It's weird.
Well, the whole curb is the
looks like the curb is hollow.
That's underneath. But if you look, if going up that hill, both sides of the road, right where the wedge curb hits the asphalt, it's cracked on both sides. The whole way up.
So we have to wait for 9 months?
No, let me do this. I've been busy. I've got a couple commercial things I have to finish up this week. I'll look at the file next week, and I'll give DJ a call. Because I did want to think about where we're at, because I checked on that bond, that from Clausen's bond.
Yeah,
That is a valid bond. I think I sent you guys some information on that. I did finally get a hold of them.
you did.
So, you know it's valid, but I have to look at the folder. I've just been swamped here recently.
Once water gets into those cracks, which we're coming into the freezing season, it's gonna split that road wide open.
It's a cluster, whatever.
Okay.
Your work on the Alrema sewer line, are you clocking that differently than road work?
Yeah.
Okay, cause that would come from the Alrema sewer.
They're supposed to be marking on their sheets, Rama Shores.
Just make sure it's separate from the other,
Yeah.
the other work. Okay. Ken was a lot shorter than I anticipated. That short. Okay. New business. Motion to approve the 2024 audit that we advertised. I make a motion to approve the 2024 audit that we advertised.
Second.
Carl, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the 2026 budget that we advertised.
Make the motion.
Carl made the motion.
Second.
Larry, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the fire department contracts with the volunteer fire department and the Alrema Fire Department for the 2026 services. There was an increase of 10% for fire department, as we put in the last contract, that it would go up 10% each year.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Suzanne made the motion,
Second.
Mary second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, the motion to distribute the state BFRA allocation of $36,113.20 equally to the Alrema Fire Department and the Finleyville Fire Department. Our chief fireman, our Alrema chief is here, Mr. Matthew Salem. You had a question on that?
Yeah, I just want to question, if that's what's in the expenditures, it should be the $18,056.60 equally would give you the $36,113.20. But in your expenditures under Finleyville, it's $18,356.60.
I believe what you're seeing on the expenditures right now is the contract money, correctly? Or is that the foreign fire?
That's the
There's a foreign fire along with, I think, the rental that we use.
Oh, that's what it is. So, and that came out of the escrow stuff. The rental of the fire department?
It's,
For Tuscany?
No.
The rental of what?
I think there was a donation.
So, we used the Finleyville Fire Department's hall for the Tuscany hearings 3 times, and the board made a motion to pay them for that use of their fire hall for hearings. And I think that is on top of their bill. I will double check it to see how it's broken down on the thing. But your contract is actually more than their contract because you guys do the trees.
We respond to the tree calls, yeah.
Yes, so, I have,
I was just curious about if that's what it was.
as a matter of fact,
If you split up the
Just as
36,
a-
it don't make even.
It is
so just as a courtesy, I have both of the contracts in my packet that I'm gonna give you. You got Finleyville's in? I'm gonna give you a copy of each. These are the contracts, of which I would really appreciate too, once you review it and look it over, there's 2 originals here for you to sign, and then I sign 2, and then you take an original with you. But this is both Finleyville's and yours, and so yours I know is more
Right.
than theirs because you guys respond to the trees.
The tree down.
But we did use their fire hall 3 separate times for the Tuscany hearings, and although they're 2 separate checks on the bill payer or
Just put them together.
yeah. So that difference is the use of their fire hall. Ultimately, Miranda will pay for. I think because it was closer to Tuscany or whatever, I don't know.
Del Rey's our township fire department. I'll argue this point till they have that. They got bigger parking lot.
More parking, more space building.
It was, I think it was a request of Miranda. I don't know.
I think it was proximity, that's the reason why. All right, what's next?
Okay. Now it would be a motion to distribute the foreign fire money allocation of $36,113.20 equally between the Alrama Fire Department and the Finleyville Fire Department. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Carl made the motion. Any second?
Second.
Terry second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to reimburse the equipment fund $91,038.33 from the American Rescues Act money.
I have a question, Michelle.
Sure.
In the packet, there's a thing about this ARPA.
ARPA, yeah.
It says we had to spend it by the end of last year?
No, we had to allocate it by the end of last year and spend it by the end of this year. So when we budgeted for those trucks last year, it met the requirement because we voiced that we were going to buy those trucks last year.
You know, I'm not a big fan of PSAT, but it seems like they contradicted what they said.
So
That's why I asked.
So basically, when you look at this motion, if I can help you out, a motion to reimburse the equipment fund $91,000 from the ARPA funds
Right.
that were spent on trucks that were contracted as of December 31st, 2024.
And yes, and the money had to be spent by December 31st of 2025.
That's fine.
So we want to add that language to the end of it.
So that money had been sitting there, used for the Finleyville-Alrama Road Shoreline project, but we are to the tail end of that, and any money left in that account by December 31st will go back to the federal government. So we had to pick something that we decided to purchase
That was the
last
same thing
year.
as that 500 grand or something too, wasn't it, from Philadelphia Rama?
That was a grant specifically for that, but the American Rescue was the COVID relief money, the Build Back, Build Better money that we got. And we've only ever used it on Finleyville-Alrama Road Shoreline project, but it's coming to an end. And if we
Okay.
don't get it out of that account by December 31st, they get it back.
Take it back, okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're going back to the motion now. Motion to reimburse the equipment fund $91,038.30. Well, shoot, I lost someone. 33 cents. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make the motion, Michelle.
Okay, Larry made the motion.
I'll second.
Suzanne seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You have to put that Carl was absent, left the room. Okay. Motion to approve Bailey Insurance's quote for $63,259.00 for the, I made a clerical error. This would be the 2026 township insurance. I apologize.
What's the difference between 26 and 25?
This is next year's insurance?
I know, but no, what's the difference in it?
Oh,
It's on the end.
it's on the end, sorry. I'm like, what are you asking me that for? It's 1 year difference?
$4,160.
Mm-hmm.
So you only went up $4,000?
Everything went up 10% and insurance is across the board for everybody, unfortunately. So, cyber was similar.
That's another story. I'm good with that, short. Go ahead.
Okay. So we are on the motion to approve the Bailey insurance quote for the 2026 township insurances. I make a motion.
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to approve the Bailey Insurance Cyber Insurance quote, $2,515.
I'll make the motion.
Second that.
Nope, I'm gonna, Larry beat you to.
If I can just interject, make sure you have the appropriate cyber security on your computers. Last week, someone, I guess some of the employees went on the internet and they basically did something that locked down, our computers got locked down because of something called, some type of virus. And if we didn't lock them, if it didn't lock down the one computer, it would have been subject to that ransomware. So make sure you have the appropriate.
I know Lisa, you worked on this, right? You were the one. So she worked with Advent, and my God, the cyber insurance thing, they asked more questions about the cyber insurance than all of the other insurances combined. Had to have Advent fill out the form, then review it.
But we have something called Hunter Defense or something, which basically found it and locked that one computer down so it didn't affect the other computers.
Isolated.
Isolated, yeah. So just make sure you have the appropriate, because otherwise, our IT person said we'd have been subject to ransom.
And everybody hardwire in. No Wi-Fi on township. Okay.
I said my piece.
You said your piece. So I have that Suzanne made the motion and Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the renewal of the QuickBooks Enterprise not to exceed the amount of $2,712. So the reason this is not to exceed, we have moved over to Enterprise last year with QuickBooks, but Mary Ann said, oh, never mind?
Never mind.
Okay, never mind. All right.
They don't have what I want.
Okay. So, the motion stands it is. I'll make that motion. This is a renewal of the QuickBooks we have.
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution to support PCSA's grant for their Cure-in-Place Piping Program. You all got a copy of the sample resolution, same as last year and the year before. This is them filing for a grant, wanting a resolution that we support the project.
I'll make that motion.
Larry made the motion.
Second.
Carl second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the Happel and Hassler lot line revision. DJ?
Sure. Thanks, Michelle.
Is that how you pronounce that name, by the way?
I'll defer to Ren.
Yeah,
He's
as
sitting
far
right
as
here
I'm
in the
aware.
audience.
Okay.
So what we have before us tonight, which was recommended for approval contingent upon satisfying our handful of review comments by the planning commission, is a 2-lot subdivision. It's a minor subdivision. The applicant who's here, I'll let him introduce himself here in a minute, but basically the 2 lots are situated off of Garvin Road and Danahaskey Road. They want to transfer a small amount of property from one lot to the other. We issued our review letter on November 11th, and the applicant and their surveyor have been working on addressing our comments. There's 1 or 2 comments left to go over. Do you want to add anything, Brett?
No.
So you're just buying some of your neighbor's property
Yeah, they have
and
like
moving
20,
the property line?
They have 20 acres for sale, and we're interested in the 3 acres.
Okay, so you're just moving the property line to include those in yours?
Right.
Our main comment that's unresolved at this point is about access to what they're calling Lot 1. It doesn't have any frontage on a public street. It's served off of Danahaskey Lane and Sun Valley Road. So we're working with their surveyor to show the necessary easements, existing and proposed, to establish access back to Garvin Road.
So what are you suggesting we do here?
Our office is recommending that you approve this subdivision with the contingency that the applicant and their surveyor address our remaining comments from our November 11th letter.
November 11th?
Correct.
Okay, does anybody, other board member have any questions for TJ? Then I'm gonna make a motion to approve the Havel and Hassler lot line revision conditioned upon the questions and comments addressed in the Bankson Engineering November 11th, 2025 letter.
Yep.
Second.
You're gonna make me repeat that.
No.
Okay, Michelle, Larry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion to approve the Cheplick Land Development application. That's you again, TJ?
Yeah. So similarly, this item was in front of the Planning Commission last Monday night. This is a application for land development approval to put an addition on the existing business there. Our office did an initial review. We had some review comments, which were all but one review comment was addressed by the applicant and their engineer. The Harshman Group is here tonight, so I'll let Sean and Mr. Cheplick introduce themselves in a minute here. But essentially, our office, reviewed the initial submission, had some comments. Most were addressed. We're down to one comment remaining, and that's in regards to the existing on-lot sewage system in the rear of the property and the condition that it's in currently. It failed the visual inspection that was conducted in October of 2024 as part of the 537 plan inspections that we did last year. So our office discussed this issue with the township solicitor and the zoning officer, Tammy. Our opinion is that this land development should, in all likelihood, be tabled until that sewage issue is addressed. At the Planning Commission meeting on Monday night, the Planning Commission did recommend that this be approved with that explicit condition that the approval be contingent on the applicant correcting that sewage issue. So that's not necessarily our recommendation at this time. I think it's important that issue be addressed. And it's a hard thing to approve conditioned upon satisfying that sewage issue. So I will turn it over to Sean from the Harshman Group and Jason if they want to introduce themselves and maybe describe what the project is.
So the project is, as CJ said, it's a one-story addition to the existing butcher shop there. The addition is just for storage and freezer space, and they're not adding any additional flows here. There was a floor drain proposed, but it's going to be capped. We're not sending it there. It's just going to be they're just going to add a sump pump, which will just discharge. So that won't be, it won't be sanitary zones. Additionally, Mr. Cheplick here has been coordinating with the Washington County Sewage Council, and would you like to?
Yeah, I think RC sent a letter or an email. He sent you guys an email or a letter pertaining. I was there last week.
Oh, she's saying it came today. I'm looking at her going, did we? And she goes, it came today.
Okay, so the app fee is in of the $1,100 we paid out for, and I might add, everything is allegedly leaking, correct? Because they sent letters to my dad and my brother-in-law. They did testing. The systems are fine. So until they do the testing, they said it was visual with my dad's and my brother-in-law's, and they did the dye test. Everything passed. So I'm just asking for approval tonight on contingents that the system is fixed. And we can't put a system in this time of the year.
Correct.
We're looking at March, but I've been working on this since April. I like to lay break ground, get dirt moved to get started over the winter months till we can get it. If the system needs to be taken care of at that So I'm just asking the board if they would approve of, on conditions that I get the system fixed, I can start breaking ground on what we need to do.
So, the system, he's saying, maybe correct me, that there may not be an issue with the septic system?
He's saying it hasn't been tested yet.
I'm
The
just saying.
township sewage enforcement officer did a visual inspection in October 2024, documented sewage on the ground, and did not, basically came to the conclusion that this is a suspected failure of the system.
Although, same was at my dad's place and my brother-in-law's place, and they did the testing, and nothing was.
Yeah, so to add to what Mr. Chadwick's saying, DEP has asked that Union Township perform a dye test on every one of those systems that's a suspected failure to confirm one way or the other. Is it failing or is it not? So Jason's right. The system should be dye tested to know for sure, but at this time, your SEO has documented as a suspected failure.
So is this part of the Mingo Circle issues we have?
It is part of the 537 plan, yes.
So I think the first thing we have to do is get his system has to be tested by sewage council. And are you gonna allow them to do that?
And so I already paid the $1,100.
Mary Ann said it just came today.
All right. No, I believe him. So
what I think he's asking us to do is do something contingent upon.
he is.
And what he's saying is possibly table.
But here's how, and I'm just spitballing right now. So if you want to make a motion to approve the Chepley land development application, subject to the property being dye tested by the sewage council, comma, that any necessary repairs be made by the applicant prior to any land development on the property, with the same being done to the satisfaction of the township engineer and I know they're writing it down. We have Ms. Puglisi here that we can always look back on.
She's been writing, I'm watching Lisa write.
And any cost involved, anybody cost involved be responsibility of the applicant. That would be i.e. engineer extension. Does that make sense to you, Mr. Chepley?
Yes. And if it is leaking, I have no problem.
You ultimately because you're liable, and if you don't do it, we're liable.
Right. And I've been here forever. I'm not going anywhere. And if it is, I have no problem fixing it to satisfy any engineers.
I have a question from what your engineer had mentioned. So you said you were capping off and sump pumping. To where?
So they don't have. So this is just a storage space. They're not going to have any like sinks or additional.
Yeah.
So there's no sewage flow coming from the addition. Okay. They were just going to have a floor drain in there, just.
Yeah.
But initially the plan was to send that to the septic system, but there were concerns raised about that, so they're not going to install. Well, they were going to cap it just so that they don't have to break the floor up later if they fix it and decide to send it.
Okay,
in the future.
so they may at a later date hook that up. Okay.
At a later date.
It was
correct.
the words sump pump that you brought into the conversation. I'm like, well, where's he pumping it to?
So if it is malfunctioning, I fix it, but I definitely want to hook that drain in now.
Yeah, I mean, if it can accommodate that flow, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no processing going on in this.
I wouldn't have questioned it other than the sump pump.
You know, there's no processing going on.
Assuming that your system can handle it, yeah, it should be.
So do you understand the motion, if it's successful?
Yes.
Yes. Did you have any questions or comments about that motion?
So that was more or less, your dictation there was almost very similar to what the planning commission recommended. The only other thing that was talked about at the planning commission, and we talked about this with Jason, but there may be an issue granting a building permit and or an occupancy permit if the issue's not resolved.
You cannot grant him a building permit or an occupancy permit with those conditions, with that situation.
So we talked about the fact that the township's not necessarily under any obligation to issue him a permit unless.
Add one last bullet to that motion, and that no building permit / occupancy permit be granted until the septic system is resolved to the satisfaction of the township. You understand that, what I'm saying, folks? And that should be, when you do that, when we make that motion, we should send the letters also, what we just talked about to Mr. Chaplin. Okay?
When they get it tested, Dennis?
Excuse me?
When did they get it tested?
He just said he lined
He
up
paid
with
the
the
money,
Washington
so I don't
County.
know
He
when.
paid the
That's-
money,
that's
did the
something the
application.
inspector-
We got the
there's-
paperwork today.
There's nobody working this week.
Yeah,
So
except for you, because it's Thanksgiving and
Oh.
Chuck's just gonna be busy.
Can I ask a question on this? If he goes and upgrades this system, what's it gonna cost roughly? What would it cost to upgrade this?
Yeah, that's not on us, I don't know. That would be
And then you
all
turn
water.
around and put sewage in. You're gonna charge him for sewage too, so you're gonna double dip it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't, that's another, that, I don't think there's public sewage gonna go into that area.
There's not
Not
gonna
for a
be.
while.
No. It's just,
Not the recommended.
the cost is cost prohibitive.
Cost prohibitive for everybody that lives there.
But if it would happen,
But that would probably be by the time
well, I'll be dead and don't worry about it.
you'll be dead and gone by then.
and I'll be retired.
Go to Kenny Shaker's head.
So you'll still be there at that time,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
I don't have any other comments.
So you understand the
So-
motion now?
We can grant
I'll make the
him,
motion if you read it off.
we can grant
So,
Mr. Chuplik that based on those conditions.
correct.
Okay, so Carl made the motion. Any seconds? I'll second. Roll call. All in favor?
It's contingent on what we discussed, right?
Yes. It's
Aye.
just-
Aye. Michelle.
Okay, aye. So all in favor? You're good? You have your approval. I'll get everybody's Thanksgiving dinner.
Did he say that you'd be sending him a letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, solicitor's office and our office will put something together and send it to both of you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next motion is to approve the MMO pension estimate worksheet for 2026. Mary Ann fills out a form every year estimating how many people will be on the municipal pension plan. So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mary second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approve the payment to Sierra for the 2026 services in the amount of $26,950 even. That's our ambulance service.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
They made the motion, Carl second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just so everyone knows in the audience, it's a $5 a head based on the US Census, and it stays that way until the census gets done again, and then it will change based on the amount of residents in Union Township. But it's $5 a head for ambulance service. Approval of the Highland Village sequestered account reduction request number 6.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys received the letter that we sent on this item here. This is dated November 12th. Scarmese Homes and their contractor have completed all of the work in Highland Village, both phases, 1 and 2. The final 1.5 inch pavement went in, when was that, in October?
I forget the date, October.
Yeah.
20th.
So, they've installed those public improvements in accordance with the approved plan. And, as such, they are requesting to reduce their bond amount, their sequestered account amount. So our office put a summary of that reduction in your, letter. And, we are recommending that you approve this reduction request. It basically zeroes out their performance bond. And we're okay with that since all the public improvements.
What do you mean about the guardrails?
What?
I'm sorry?
What do you mean about the guardrails up there?
Guardrails are not on the drawings. They're under any obligation to install.
If they're not part of the approved plan, then you don't have to comply with that.
Yeah, previous boards before us had approved the plan the way it is, and they're only obligated to follow what
There may
the
be,
conditions.
there may be something we can do with PennDOT to look at delineating that a little better, putting some safety in on that sharp curve, but there's nothing on the drawings.
There's no
that they're
obligation for
responsible
Mr. Scarmese to pay for that.
That's right. They owe us a maintenance bond for phase 2. And then we will be able to take over the roads after that.
So-
We've not yet received the maintenance.
We have not yet received the maintenance
Not
bond.
for
Is there
phase 2.
anything about releasing the sequestered account before we receive the maintenance bond, or are we okay?
I think we're okay.
So why would we give them a retention? They still owe us a document or that bond.
I thought about that too, Larry. They are obligated under the developer's agreement to provide the maintenance bond. So I
why
thought
would-
about that, but I think they can reduce their performance bond to 0, given that they've agreed in the developer's agreement to give us.
And I think they've been pretty decent deal with so far.
I don't, that's the last leverage you have with somebody building something, is a retention.
Well, we haven't accepted the roads yet. We won't until they provide the maintenance bond.
Where is that?
This isn't, we're not accepting the
It'll still
roads,
be
we're
his
only
road.
allowing them to reduce
The
their bond.
roads would be your public improvements.
So we get the maintenance bond when we get the
When you
road.
once he looks at the road, says the road's fine, then the next step after he says the road's fine, then we go through the process of adoption. At that point in time, we don't adopt the ordinance until we have the maintenance bond in hand and pay the appropriate fees.
Correct. And all that's explained in their developer's agreement.
It is.
So you're gonna reach out to PennDOT about the hairpin turn? The
I think
90 degree?
I think we should do that, yes. And I can do that. If the board.
It's up to the board. What would you suggest?
What would I suggest?
No, I'm talking to the
Okay.
board, TJ. They gotta tell you to do it, right?
Where's this hairpin turn at, by the way?
It's in
Above
phase
Mr.
2.
Curdy's house. Comes around from the upper street around to the lower street.
It's a severe 90-degree turn.
So why don't you do this, maybe talk to Scarmese, saying, is it what would the price of guy rails be?
It's
What
a
would you
decent
guess?
stretch.
What,
It's a decent run on that radius. It's probably,
a couple thousand?
Like 20,000,
guardrail's expensive.
20 grand?
Probably more.
Probably, I don't know, 15 to 20, just, I haven't eyeballed it. Could be up to 25,000.
Maybe the best.
That little piece on Pleasant View was $9 grand.
Guardrail's expensive.
So maybe, are you talking with talk with their engineer about getting an idea what the cost would be to put those guide rails in, and see if they're willing to do it, for safety's sake. But again, that goes back to the previous board failing to do the appropriate steps to make sure that was in the plan.
And the old engineers mentioned that in a lot of their comments.
Did they really?
Harshman mentioned that although this is being marketed as a community for over 55, if children move in there, a school bus is never gonna make it.
It's a pretty good drop off that
And
that
so-
bend.
But I guess their opinion was is a bus wouldn't make it around the bend if there was a school bus needed to go up there, that it would not be passable. They still approved it the way it was. But in his defense, he did not suggest it to be that way. So.
So in summary, they built what they agreed to. They're asking to reduce their bond in accordance with that, and in accordance with everything in the development.
And when it comes time to the maintenance bond, prior to township taking the roads over, then once you look at them, then we say, for us to do this, you have to use the maintenance bond.
Correct.
So I will make a motion to approve the reduction request number 6 for the Highland Village sequestered account. Any second?
Second.
Sorry,
that's it.
Okay, was suggesting that one. All in favor? Aye. Approve the resolution for statewide local share account grant program.
Me again.
And it says right here, I just left it on there, I will bring it to the meeting.
Yeah.
That's far off.
Yep. So I have copies. Do you want copies of these resolutions?
We copied them, Lisa copied them really quickly right
Great.
before the meeting when you gave them to her.
Sounds good. So we have 2 grants that we're going to apply for. One for equipment and one for storm sewers in the Dolphy plant. So you have two resolutions in front of you. Both of them are asking for a maximum that we can ask for of $1 million. This is the county, this is the statewide local share, so it's the gaming monies, no match required, any project or purchase up to $1 million. So the resolution sets forth that grant request amount, and it also sets forth the signatories from the township who's going to sign the grant agreement if you were to get funded. So we're asking that you approve both of these resolutions tonight so that we can submit these applications by the end of the month.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion to approve the resolution for the?
I'll make a motion.
Carl made the motion.
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to repair transmission in truck number 8 not to exceed $5,000. Do you have any comments about this, Ken? This is one of the bigger trucks, correct?
Yeah,
What's happening with the transmission?
you put it in reverse, you cannot get it out.
Well, it sounds like a transmission.
Transmission problem. It's a standard transmission, it's not an automatic.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Larry made the motion, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to enter in a professional service agreement with Jason J. Guy. That's the standard agreement, just for opening up an escrow, just like all the others.
I'll make the motion.
Larry made the motion, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to affirm the CoStar salt agreement. So we got an email earlier this week about Ken buying salt, and I did not remember voting on the CoStar's purchasing agreement back in the winter. So just to verify that Ken didn't buy any salt out of contract, we went back. It was not on any meeting minutes, and Marion had found the agreement for me. The township manager had indeed did an agreement, but the board never voted on the agreement or anything. So we have to now affirm it for, if we're going to use liquid fuels to pay for this salt, the board has to vote on the CoStar's agreement for it.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Larry made the motion. Carl second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to hire for the position of part-time receptionist, administrative assistant at the rate of blank without benefits. Just real quick, the last meeting we voted on this pay rate. Right? Couldn't remember off the top of my head, I got 17. Okay. I'm gonna make a motion to hire Stacy Lawson for the position of part-time receptionist, administrative assistant at the rate of $17 an hour without benefits for, so part-time, are we defining what part-time is?
Well, you're gonna make a motion to hire this person at a certain hourly rate for a period, for a probationary period of 90 calendar days with no benefits.
Got that part.
What was the question?
My question is, do we have to define how many hours part-time is? No more than,
Well, again, part-time is, full-time is dependent upon who you're looking at. So, I know most people think 40 hours on the FLSA is full-time. State says 35 hours. County says 32 and a half hours. So, I would say up to 30 hours per week.
okay.
That should provide safety.
So my motion is to hire Stacy Lawson for the position of part-time receptionist, administrative assistant at the rate of $17 an hour with no benefits for a 90-day probationary period for no more than 30 hours a week.
We're up to 30 hours per
Up
week.
to, but I said no more than, either way.
Either
Tomato,
way.
tomato.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
I just made it, but you're seconding it?
Yep.
Okay. Me, Carl. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion to advertise advertise hiring public works road crew position of operator in accordance with the Teamsters 205 contract. So this would be a motion to advertise for that position. Anybody wanna make a motion?
I'll make the motion, but it's gonna have the CDO and all the other requirements.
Based on, so under operator, under the Teamsters contract, they have to have a CDO.
Okay,
And that's why I did put that in there.
fine.
Oh, by the way, all the applicants for part-time receptionist, administrative assistant, background checks were done by Dennis Makel's office earlier this week, so it didn't matter if we hired or not, the applicants were pre. So, motion to advertise hiring public works position.
I'll second.
Okay, so Larry made the motion, Suzanne second. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion and motion for fall cleanup of the parks and municipal building property. So, there is an offer on the table from the person that did all of the park mowing and so forth to do a remow over, which would also suck up all the leaves and do leaf cleanup at the same parks and stuff at the same rate of the contract that was for the summer if the board was interested. So what we have is a bunch of leaves and debris, whether or not the board wants to or doesn't want to have it a once over done, but sucking up all the leaves and
How
stuff
much
in
money?
the parks. What was it,
$800 a week. I think.
800, I was gonna say $750, but you're correct, $800.
He's gonna do all that for $800?
Yep,
That's the same, you're kidding.
great.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. So Larry made the motion, Carl second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion motion, the notice of in-house billing and fee schedule for Arema storage customers. So the board had made the decision earlier in the year to do in-house billing for our Arema storage customers. So, we need to send them a letter and notice. We do have a couple of questions, it may be too long for this meeting, but yeah. So, there's some confusion on, at the end of the year, Weeza's not doing the billing anymore. Weeza is now thinking that they're doing the billing for December, which ultimately wouldn't get billed until January. Are they done as of December 31st, meaning they billed November's billing? Or are they gonna continue through January doing the water bill for December? Either way, we need to approve these fee schedules and letter, but you're gonna probably have to talk to
Tom Barry.
Weeza.
And you don't get their paperwork for 2 months. Like
Yeah, they're not gonna
November's
give us until
paperwork, you're not
February.
gonna get till January. December's you don't get until February.
So this is what happens. They get the December water bill. They bill out at the end of January for December's water bill.
Beginning.
They're
Beginning middle.
middle, but then the payments wouldn't come in till the end or the beginning of the next month. So we wouldn't know who paid December's water bill surge until
Well, there's-
February.
We're not taking over to January 1st, right?
That's what we had sent them a letter months ago.
Be February sometime.
We don't know what, we told them they were no longer billing as of December 31st. That would be a bill that they would be doing in January.
In the spring.
They also stated that they wanted $100 and something an hour.
So Mary Ann and I
We're
discussed,
answering
I
any
think that we
questions
should
for
tell
our
them that
resident.
when they do November's billing, which they don't do until December the 15th.
And
that's
they'll
the
get that
last
money
one
back
they
in.
do.
So if they
That would be the end of their fiscal year, not the calendar year, but their fiscal year to us. That's how I look at it. And that they should be able to, at the end of the year, just give us a report.
See, their
Because
fiscal
in all
year
the
ends
payments-
November 30th, is that what you said, Lisa?
Well, like when they do their November, they just did it. They went on the 15th. But that's,
For October.
yeah.
So why don't we do this, Lisa, why don't you and I talk?
Yeah.
Our
What
confusion
is-
is if we send out this letter saying people are gonna be paying here at Union Township, and then get a bill from, it's gonna be a confusing mess for our poor folks in Rama.
So why don't, let's you and I talk maybe
Yeah.
Wednesday, are you working on Wednesday?
I am.
Let's you and I talk on Wednesday. I've got a project I have to complete tomorrow.
In the meanwhile, is the board okay with the
So we have to
letter?
front the payroll for a month or two.
It's not that.
It's gonna be,
We won't know what figures to put on their bills here in
Yeah.
Union Township till February.
Right, plus the cost of it.
all right, so we also have the PAWC situation too about the
Yeah,
termination agreement.
We could
For the overages, you're in contact with them.
we could bill them their $64 flat rate, but we wouldn't have anything from Weezer saying what their balance was from the previous month
Have you-
until February.
Have you spoke to these people down there at all, Lisa, or not?
In El Rama?
Yes.
Yeah, we just spoke to Emily today.
What's, are they gonna be cooperative?
It doesn't sound like it.
They didn't.
I mean,
they
are
didn't-
you asking them, am I gonna get the information out of them that I need?
She
Yes,
asked
I
for the
will.
billing addresses, and they didn't give her any zip codes, so some of the
Yeah,
people
so-
in the house live all over this
I
country.
mean, I'm going
Because
back
they didn't
and
even
forth,
give her
and
the zip
I'm
codes.
writing, I'm emailing everything that I'm requesting, because, you know, I've got addresses that are out of state, they're being paid out of state, I got reversible
But they didn't give them
trusts, I
the
mean.
zip codes.
So why would they not keep, was that a
We
mistake?
don't know why. Or
She
you know,
says
we-
that her system does not process the zip
I
code.
mean, I had to
She
write
prints
back
out
and
the
say, I
customer
can't
and
mail
print out the
anything
zip
without
code.
a zip code in the United States. You've got it, I gotta have zip codes.
All right, let's you and I talk Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'll be at the office till about 5 o'clock.
In the meanwhile, the, is everyone happy with the wording of the notice? That's what we're voting on, is that you guys all saw the wording of the notice. And when we agreed on the doing the in-house billing a year ago, starting in the, but I just wanted to make sure that you were all happy with the fee schedule and the wording on the notice. Just says how much a return check charges, how much a lien letter is, how much an inspection is. It should actually save them a little money, cause I know that, Lisa put a bill on theirs for billing, charge on their bills, which we won't have, cause they were charging us a certain
So-
amount and them a certain amount.
So we're gonna have to adopt a policy, that's.
That's where I'm at. I'm trying to adopt the policy regardless of if we're taking over in January or February. We need to okay this policy.
All right.
Looks fine.
It looks good to you? Anybody else have any questions about the policy itself?
No.
Okay. So the dates are gonna be what you're gonna work on with.
I'm gonna talk to Lisa on Wednesday.
Okay. But as far as the policy, let's take a roll call vote on the adoption of this policy. Anyone wanna make the motion?
I'll make the motion, Michelle.
Larry made the motion.
I'll second.
Suzanne second. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we do a separate one for the fee schedule?
Yes.
Okay. So, I make a motion on the fee schedule for the Arema storage customers.
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion to advertise the organizational meeting for 2026, sometimes called the reorg. Now, they're all on the same day of the year, same day, right, in Pennsylvania, what's that day?
First Monday in January. So the
January-
board of
The
supervisors,
Fifth.
board of supervisors, you know, the first Monday, and then the board of auditors meets on the first Tuesday.
So should we make a motion to advertise both of those?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to advertise the organization meeting for the Board of Auditors for the 4th of January 2026. And the,
Fifth.
Yeah, that's a Sunday.
okay, so the 5th it would be the auditors then.
So what's the first Monday in January?
January 5th.
January 5th, and January 6th for the board of auditors.
Okay, backwards, sorry. I'm gonna make a motion to advertise organization meeting for the Board of Supervisors for January 5th, 2026, and the Board of Auditors of Union Township for January 6th, 2026.
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. X is just a repeat, skip it. PSAT's boot camp approval. There was a motion at the beginning of the year to approve all of the elected positions and staff to do this. I was unclear on whether or not Linda Cole would like to attend. And I kind of figured that that motion we made at the beginning of the year, since she's now elected, covered it, but I wanted to make sure. So it may be also something that we want to offer to the person we just hired.
I think it was pretty good.
I do too, I thought it was pretty good.
2 days.
So the board's if the board's in agreement, we'll offer it to her, not sure that she'll, it is a Saturday, so I don't know that she'll have that in her schedule, but we can at least offer it.
I think we should.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve, Linda and Miss Lawson, I keep forgetting her first name, Stacy. Miss Lawson to, attend the PSAT's boot camp.
Second.
Okay, we're gonna go with Carl this time.
Fine.
And, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there is a reappointment request to, for Michael Barron he would like to stay on PCSA, and Mr. Porzana would like to stay on our planning commission. It's just a notation in the minutes, we'll report at the reorg.
Okay.
Residents' concerns dealing with EQT already handled. 4042 Finleyville Raymer Road stormwater concern already done. Then we have a tax refund request from a resident at 17 Circle Avenue that we previously tabled last month. So I'm gonna make a motion to take it off the table. Remove it from the table, however you wanna word it. Anyone want a second?
Second.
Okay, I'm going with Larry on that one. And all in favor?
Aye.
So now we have, Ms. Lori Shoemaker had made a request last month. She said that her taxes have always been paid in her mortgage payment. So she is apparently paying off her mortgage or refinancing, I don't know, but she has realized that she has paid per capita on an extra person in her household for 5 years. And she would like to receive a refund from Union Township. She's apparently gonna make one to the school board as well.
What is per capita tax, $5 per
10,
person?
I think.
$5.
10 for family.
So, if you wanna make a motion to reimburse Ms. Shoemaker per capita tax for 5 years, subject to providing the township with the appropriate documentation indicating that there is only one person living in the house rather than two.
What would be appropriate documentation, like a sworn notarized, what would be appropriate, I don't know, that's where I'm stuck, like what would be appropriate documentation?
An affidavit, we need to have an affidavit from her, but it's only $25, I mean, it's not like it's.
She wants that, what do you want me to say? She wants the money.
So, appropriate documentation, be an affidavit, maybe, all I can think of an affidavit.
Just sign that?
Yeah.
Okay, sign the thing.
Yeah, well, I tell you what they're doing, some places that represent they're doing away per capita tax, because it's really costs more to collect than, but that's up to you folks, that will help it down the road.
Yeah, mostly it comes, I think, in people's mortgage. Okay, so, I make that motion.
Second.
Larry second, all in favor?
Aye.
Then there is a certification for playground inspection. That was a class that's going on at Bethel Park that Ken had made us aware of. If I had a question, if we're sending someone for this playground certification, who we sending?
Dave.
Dave Sofa, Dave
Sofa.
Tuvia.
Dave Sofa.
Sofa.
See,
I don't wanna waste it on someone old like yourself. No.
I think this will, give him the certification to do repairs too.
Oh, so he would be the best person to repair it, because he has those skills, but he's not certified to repair it. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So, he's a welder and
Well, here's the thing, we're gonna have 3 parks, and, we got a lot of playground equipment. If it needs fixed, he can do it.
I got a letter like last December from Mr. Over, the cashier in Peters Township, manager Public Works Director. saying that we needed somebody here, and I had brought it up to the board. But we had, at the time I got the letter, we had just hired a company to do it, so it wasn't.
Well, this is a 3-day thing. It's not a quick thing, it's 3 days.
What did they do? Did they get recertified? How long does it last?
I don't know that.
Okay, it just did.
I didn't even call them because I wanted to make sure
I
but
think it would be good to have
send
somebody
somebody.
I
certified.
think it's liability, but the El Remo Park, is the equipment already put in up over the El Remo Park?
It's already up.
So should that, if he gets that,
It's certified. They certify when they build it. They
do.
did the first
Right.
year. They certified, yes.
so they,
The
okay.
playground equipment will certify
Yeah.
that equipment. for the
That was
year.
part of the thing about getting it. They wouldn't warranty it or certify it unless they installed it. They had certified installers, so they did not want our road crew or anybody doing it.
I
because it
remember
would avoid
talking
the
about that.
warranty and the certification.
Well, I'm glad they did it.
So the playground equipment is installed on El Ranger, correct?
It's already in.
So do we have that like mulch or something underneath the bottom?
It's almost in, it's ready to go.
Complete, done.
And the road crew put in a sidewalk this week.
All the concrete work
He was
is
very
done.
concerned because he had framed for the sidewalk, and then there was the delay with the DEP complaint. And he was worried that if he didn't do the concrete, it would warp the framing, and that would all be for naught and a waste of time and money. So he got a couple of nice days, even though they weren't that nice, but he got the concrete poured and done. So good job on that.
Thank you.
We're making a motion on this.
Yep.
Send it, Dave.
Okay,
Dave
so,
certified.
who's making the motion to send Dave
I'll
certified?
make
Michelle.
a motion.
Okay,
Sorry.
Suzanne made a motion to certify, to get Dave Sofa to get certified for playground inspection.
Yeah, it's gonna happen
Larry
December
second.
3rd, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Larry
Like
second,
next week.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve, under approval of bills, A through G.
Second.
Carl second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any comments from supervisors?
Nope.
Okay, then I make a motion to adjourn at
8:31.
8:31. Any second?
Second.
Very second. All in favor of adjournment?
It's gonna be good, yeah.
Carl, do you say aye? Okay, you didn't want to adjourn?
I don't
You just
want you
wanted
to
to
blame
stay?
it on me. I know how they.
That's the last thing of the first